Hey, what's up guys, TotallyDubbed here, and today I'm reviewing the Steelseries Siberia V2 limited edition heat orange model. So these are one of the very few headsets that I have received to review or actually tried, and I'm very much an audio type of guy. I've got some Denon D2000 headphones as my daily drivers. I've got Audio PFE 232 earphones, which are 400 odd dollar earphones, and I very much listen to a lot of music. Headsets have never been really appealing to me simply due to audio quality, so it was really intriguing to me to pick up a headset and actually have it at home and really review it thoroughly, both with my own music, just by listening to music, and how it performs with its mic quality in comparison to something like a Logitech USB microphone, which is highly recommended throughout the internet, and also how it performs in-game. So in that respect, I took it on Battlefield 4 and saw how it performed in that respect. So I just thought to give you a little bit of a heads up and a little background of who I am and what I do, if you guys didn't know already, and just thought to highlight that point that I'm not one of those people which doesn't appreciate audio at all. I mean, I really do appreciate audio quite a lot, and personal portable audio is my forte, let's put it that way. So when I got these headphones, straight away I loved the design. So I'm going to go through the design aspect of stuff, and then what I'm going to do, unlike a lot of reviews out there, is I'm actually going to show you the microphone quality, which is over here. How I'm going to show you that microphone quality, you might be wondering. Well, it's quite simple. I do a lot of video rendering, so it's quite easy to show you in that respect and cut two videos together. What I'll do is demonstrate the software when I do a review of the software of the Steelseries engine, and I will do that thoroughly with the microphone of this headset. So you'll be able to hear the microphone quality of this headset, and you'll probably get to compare it to my Sony HX9 stereo microphone that it's got on there. But anyway, going through the features, as you can see, the headset looks pretty intriguing. This is because it's got like a suspended design over here, which in my opinion is very good. The suspended design means that it can fit all types of shapes of heads and adjust to quite a lot of tension. This is really good for comfort, for long periods of use, and furthermore it's very useful for people who have different size heads. For example, when I put this on my mum, it will fit perfectly, and when it fit on me, it fit perfectly. Whereas when I had my Denon D2000s on the smaller settings, unfortunately it would not fit. And just to show you the Denon D2000s which have been modded, they're over here, as you can see. So it was very nice to have this type of design, and it's a very cool design indeed. There's certain premium headphones out there which have this type of design. It's very nice that SteelSeries has adopted it. Going on with the features, you've got on the side over here, hopefully you'll be able to see, maybe it's zoomed in or not, I'm not sure, but there's a little indicator of left and right on each side, which is very useful for telling which side you're going to put them on. It might seem pretty obvious because the microphone is on your left hand side the whole time, so it's pretty easy to see, but it's nice that SteelSeries put that little touch in there. As you'll be able to see, there's a LED light, an orange LED light, which illuminates basically, and this LED light has a very nice touch. The SteelSeries V2 Siberia, the normal one, does not have any LED lights, but the Frost Blue, I think it's called, and this Heat Orange model do have this LED light, which kind of differentiates them from the other V2s. Of course, there's a Siberia Elite which is out there, which has its own lights, but that's not exactly in the same category as the V2. So the LED is very nice and can be adjusted, and I'll show you that via the software, and that you can put on steady, low, medium or high intensity, or actually when you want to shoot, for example, it picks up any in-game sound. And by that means if you're, for example, listening to music, it's going to pick up all the sounds as they come through. So it's pretty intriguing, and you'll see it on the video. I'm going to leave the camera rolling when I do my software overview, and you'll have the view of that to see how the LED changes in that respect. The USB wire that goes is on the left hand side, which is just out of design. I just thought to mention that. So it's on the left hand side, you've got a USB. As you run through the USB, you've got a little microphone, well, not a little microphone, little kind of adjustable control pod, which is very useful. You've got a volume control, which is like a slider wheel. You adjust up and down, and also you've got a quick mute functionality, and this worked perfectly fine, even for Skype calls, for example. It's a very nice functionality and very easy to use, and I really liked it. The only thing that kind of got me was actually the USB wire. The USB wire, as you can see, is quite short, but SteelSeries were very kind enough to, in the package, include a USB extension, which I give them top marks for that to do, because the headset might not fit for all types of gamers or all types of setups, so it's nice to see that SteelSeries actually included a USB extender. This extends about, I would say around, altogether it's about 2 meters, maybe a bit more in terms of wire length, so there's plenty enough of room to plug into your PC and run it at the back of your PC and whatnot. I have no problems in that respect. But what I was mentioning about the wire is because of this little pod over here. The pod over here is a little awkward because maybe if you're, I'm not sure if you're able to see, but basically with my setup I have it has to run under my Logitech G710 Plus keyboard, and that means that the control pod is kind of left just where I'm typing. So it's a little bit intrusive, and it would have been nice if this little control pod was located maybe nearer over here, maybe towards the top of the headphone rather than midway of the wire. But it's just a slight little design tweak. I think it would have been nice to see, but it's not a big deal. I just thought to mention it in case it might worry you. As you probably heard, it is a USB headset. Therefore, it does plug in via USB, and that is one of its only flaws that I really pointed out, is that it's only done via USB. As much as it's good and it's got its own sound card integrated with that USB, it's just a little bit frustrating because you cannot plug this into your, for example, your phone via 3.5mm jack. It's a little bit annoying, but with that said, there's a reason why it's a PC gaming headset, and it's going to be plugged in via USB. So I just thought to mention that just in case you were curious or wondering about that. Apart from that, over here you've got a little retractable mic, which I absolutely love. It goes in all together, and as you can see, it's completely gone. And you can retract it to a nice length, and you can bend it to any sort of design you want to have your most comfortable fit. The wire is very flexible and is very nice, and it holds into place as well. So top marks in that respect for design, because SteelSeries really outdid themselves there in that respect. Finally, the looks of the headphone. Now, some people worry about looks because it's something that's quite worrying to them. So here is the microphone positioned, and that is how it looks like on my head. So as you can see, it is quite a reasonably big sized headphone. I'm just trying to do a little 360 for you guys so you guys can see, and up there. But as you can see, this headphone design at the top is very nice, and it does provide a lot of comfort. But on that note of comfort, in terms of the review, I have to mention that, as you can see, I am wearing glasses. I do wear contact lenses, but in front of the computer I'm always wearing glasses, and I did about a 3-hour session of Battlefield 4, and I did find that when I got my headphones off, that my ears were hurting quite a lot over here. This is not because it's got a strong clamp. Clamp is when it pushes down quite hard. It's not because it's got a strong clamp, just because of the design of the headphone. It is kind of an on-ear headphone, not really an over-the-ear headphone, at least in my opinion. Although it does go around the ear, I just feel it's more of an on-ear headphone. And the driver isn't that far spaced with the pads, meaning that your ear is either going to hit here, or if you've got some glasses, it's going to kind of dig in. So do bear that in mind. If you do wear glasses, you might be uncomfortable over several hours of gaming. But that said, for short periods of gaming, under an hour, there was no problems there. I didn't notice any problems, and it was very comfortable to wear. Of course, glasses do affect all sort of headphones, but with my Denon D2000s, for example, with a thicker pad, I have had no problems in that respect, and I can game for hours on end with my D2000s without any sort of comfort issues. But with the SteelSeries V2 Heat Orange, I did find that it was a little bit uncomfortable after a while. So do bear that in mind if you guys wear glasses, and it's something to bear in mind before purchasing these headphones. In terms of the actual comfort, apart from that, the pads are quite nice and soft, but that said, they're not very thick, as mentioned before. It's a bit of a shame because it would have been nice if they had a thicker spacing of them, because it would increase the comfort and softness of them, because the pads, although soft, are very thin, and therefore there's not much of a wall between your ear and the driver, which is a shame because that also increases soundstage. Soundstage is when you've got kind of like a louder, wider sound when you're listening to your music, and a lot of people would love a bigger sound stage, or a wider sound stage, or a deeper sound stage, and when it comes to gaming, and that would have been accomplished if they had a little thicker pads. So it would have been nice to have a little bit thicker pads. Isolation wise, now they're not the best isolating headphones out there, simply because they've kind of like got an open back design. But with that said, they don't leak that much music. That said, I'm going to just play some random music for you guys and make sure it's on. So if I turn it up, as you can hear the music in the background, which is really loud. That is very, very loud. I don't want to place it over my ears because it will hurt my ears, but if I place it to sort of a volume that I would be happy with, so there you go. You could hear the leaking of the sound over there. Hopefully you were able. Hopefully my camera was able to pick that up, and you guys were able to hear that. But there's a little bit of leakage of sound, and that is just because of an open back design. The isolation is not quite there. So if you're in a noisy environment, these sort of headphones are probably not going to be for you, because you're going to hear a lot of external sound coming in. And that's just simply because of the pad design, the fact that it's kind of like an on-ear headphone. So with that said, overall the design is very nice, the look is very nice. I really like what Steelseries have done, especially with the mic and this comfort, the headband design. I really think they outdid themselves in that respect. Very well done on Steelseries on that front. And now I'm going to go on the software side and review the software of the headphones, and that's the Steelseries engine. And I'm going to use the microphone over here, and I'm going to continue my review. So just before I do that, I'm going to check the camera is rolling in the right direction, so you guys can see what I'm doing, and also see that the different colors of the things. So just making sure, and I am now going to shift over to the microphone, and I'm going to do that in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so now you should be able to hear my microphone, as you can see over there on the camera, which should be rolling. And the microphone, you'll probably be able to hear, is quite nice and clear. It does pick up a lot of sounds. For example, my mouse can be picked up. For example, when I had the SteelSeries Sensei, I was able to pick up click sounds and whatnot. And for example, I've got a mechanical keyboard, so if I type a little bit, you probably be able to hear those clicky sounds. That said, my keyboard is quite loud because, as I said, it is a mechanical keyboard. But with that said, overall, the microphone is very precise and very nice sounding. And that is because it has got an active noise cancelling mic, which is quite good because it gets to cancel out all the sounds around you and really listen to your voice. This means that you've got a nice clear voice across the internet and whatnot. So now I'm going to show you that this does get picked up in Windows pretty easily. It's literally a plug and play and the drivers get installed. I'm on Windows 7 64-bit. As you can see, the Siberia is the default device right there, and the playback device is also my Siberia V2. So that's quite good and very easy to manage. If you unplug it, it will basically disappear, and if you replug it, then you can see it over here, and you can set it as a default device. So now I'm going to go into the SteelSeries SteelSeries engine software, which I should mention has certain problems with other software out there. The software which it mainly has a problem with is my Logitech gaming software, and that is one thing I want to allude to. The software is nice and very simple and can be adjusted quite a lot. With that said, it feels that due to the conflicts that it has, it's a little bit hit and miss. So do bear that in mind. I didn't really experience that many problems with the headset, but with the mice and the mouse and keyboards that I had from SteelSeries, they conflicted a lot with my Logitech gaming software and my Anchor software. So now looking into the software, you can see that you've got EQ presets. You can change the EQ presets and whatnot, and this changes the sound of your headphones. It's basically like a simple EQ that, for example, you can find on different softwares out there. For example, my Asus DX sound card comes with it, but as it's got an integrated sound card, sound card within the USB, you can change the EQ yourself, which is pretty nice. I found personally, I always leave things on balance. That means on 0 dB. I don't like playing around with things like that because I like to listen to the headphone as it is, and therefore I left it on 0. But you can change it to your needs and whatnot. Now, in terms of the illumination, now as you can see probably on the camera right there, I've got the intensity to high. So now if I turn the intensivity to off, you'll be able to see, and I'm just double checking, that the headphones are now off. So that is useful over there. So I'm going to turn the intensity to high again, and as you can see on the software, you've got pulsation, steady, slow, medium, fast. So I usually have it to steady, but if you put it to fast, or if I put it to slow, for example, it's going to pulsate really slowly. But the one which interests me more than anything is actually the trigger one. Now I'm going to put in the trigger one and just check something again. So right now, it's quite hard to concentrate. I'm going to be playing music and you'll be able to see on the camera that it's pulsating. So I'm playing Benny Benassi Satisfaction, and it's pretty loud, I've got to say. And as you'll be able to see on the camera, it is pulsating with the bass that is hitting and the sound, which is pretty damn cool if you ask me. So I'm going to pause that because it's very distracting and very hard to concentrate, especially when it's an epic song like Benny Benassi Satisfaction. You really want to listen to that really high, really loud. But as you saw, that was pretty cool with the trigger pulsating feature right there. So normally I have it to steady because I don't like it to distract me. Plus, I don't really look at myself in the mirror, but when I'm playing, although it would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? But that is the different modes that you can get. Finally, there's a properties tab, and the properties tab is a profile activation. You change the profile based on the application you launch, which is pretty cool because you can have, say, Battlefield 4 programmed over here, and you can press it and set the application so that when Battlefield 4 launches, it launches its own profile. So you can have different profiles, for example, for example, EQ presets. You want to have voice when you're gaming, and you want to have balanced when you're on Windows. So in that respect, it will automatically trigger the profile and make it work. So apart from that, that is the software. The software is decent, but with that said, it does lack a bit of extra customizing features that it would have been nice to see. Maybe a bigger EQ graph, and especially the fact that it has a lot of trouble with compatibility with other softwares out there. So software size, I think SteelSeries are kind of shooting themselves in the foot with all their products right now, which are using this engine software. But with that said, with the headset, it's not a big deal because EQ wise you can sort out something somewhere else, and intensity and pulsation is not a huge feature that you're going to be looking into. It is a cool feature, but not a huge feature that you're going to look into. So it's not a deal breaker for me in this respect because the headset doesn't really need the software to run. It's really a plug and play and a driver's install, and you can use it straight away. So now I'm just going to go back to the camera,
And I'm just going to summarize this review. Well, in my opinion, this headset is absolutely excellent. Now, I did a lot of personal listening with my own music, no Battlefield or no gaming or anything, nothing to do with gaming, just listening to my own music and judging its sound quality. Its sound quality was quite interesting. Starting with the soundstage sounded a little bit close, and I think that's due to the pads. If the pads were a little bit thicker, the soundstage would have been a little wider. So soundstage wise, a little bit muffled in that respect. The mids are decent, but they are dipped. Compared to other headphones, for example AKGs or even the Denons, the mids do sound a little bit dipped. But with that said, the mids are very good, and I was extremely surprised on how well they did. The highs, the high frequencies are a little bit rolled off, I must say, but with that said, the high frequencies do really hit those tones, and when you're gaming you do hear all the things that you want to hear, and when you're listening to music you probably will notice a little roll off at the top end of the high frequency. The low end frequency was actually quite nice. I actually really like these, and the low end frequency really did it justice, but again it didn't really extend that well. I felt that most of the times when I was listening to explosions or listening to some Benny Benassi, for example, a lot of bass, it seemed to be kind of not extending that low end frequency that much, which is a bit of a shame. But that said, I didn't expect the world of the best sounding headphones I've ever heard, but they're decent headphones. If I had to compare these to any headphones, it would actually be the AKGs. The AKG K551s that I reviewed, these are like baby brothers of the K551s. You've got very similar sound signature. The sound which lacks, for example, the lows is kind of there, but with that said, the mids of the AKGs are tons better, and so are the highs. But for headsets, I've got to say, very impressed with the sound, and I do really rate their sound quality, and this is regardless of any gaming or whatnot. Just for purely the sound quality, I really rated these headphones. In terms of gaming performance, now I don't think gamers will be disappointed over here, because I gamed on Battlefield 4. I heard all the different sounds I could have heard. I could have heard different soldiers coming from different locations. It didn't feel like I had a Dolby 7.1 in my ears. That's for sure. But it did really feel that I was immersed in the gameplay and I could hear everything, and I was playing really well because I could hear everything around me. I was late night gaming, so it's always good to have some headphones that are capable of producing that nice sound, but also having a nice crystal clear microphone at the end. So what is my overall rating of these headphones? Well, I can't give them anything lower than a 5 out of 5 or a 10 out of 10. These really do hit every single aspect for me as a gamer and also a personal audio listener, which is accustomed to audiophile grade headphones. So in terms of musicality, it's very good. In terms of its gaming performance, it's very nice. The sound quality just generally of the headphones are quite good. If it was me, if I'm gaming, and this is what I've been doing recently, that if I want to game at late night and I'm talking on Skype with my cousin, I just plug in these headphones and leave my headphone and USB mic on their own, because this headphone does the job quite well and quite valiantly. Okay, that said, they're not audiophile grade headphones, and audiophiles out there are like, oh yeah, but your Denon D2000s are much better, or your AKGs are much better. Sure, they are much better for music, but if I combine that with my microphone and whatnot, it just seems like this does an overall great job, and it's something that I am going to be going into and listening and using for my gaming at night. So, highly suggest it, guys. Do pick one of these up. They do come in at around £100, which is reasonably expensive, but if you factor in the fact that you got a nice noise cancelling mic, it's actually reasonably cheap at £85 or something, because a microphone on its own that's like this will cost you about at least £15. At least my normal USB Logitech mic comes in at that price. So if you take that into account, or if, for example, you don't want that noise cancelling mic and you don't want the color over here and you just want the V2, which comes at £65, well, it's almost a no-brainer to me. £65 for a good sounding headset with a good microphone and good comfort and good overall finish to it is very much highly recommended from me. So I can't give it anything lower than a 10 out of 10 or 5 out of 5, as I said. Good headsets. good set of headphones even, you know, if you just want to listen to music, although they will lack a little bit of detail and whatnot, but great headphones, and very surprised on how well they did. I wasn't expecting this much of a good sound quality, but I actually received it. Anyway guys, hopefully you've enjoyed the review of the Siberia V2 Heat Orange limited edition model. I would like to thank Steelseries for sending me these out to review, but I'm kind of speechless of how good they are. But if you like them, do let me know in the comments below. If you don't like them, let me know in the comments below. If there's other alternatives that you can think of, let me know in the comments below. And also, what you think of this review. It was always nice to know. I know it's been on the long side, but I like to cover everything and definitely try and go through everything before someone would make a purchasing decision. So do let me know in that respect, and do subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Do like the video, it always helps. And furthermore, do share this video or favourite the video with your friends and family if you've got the headphones or if you're thinking of buying them. Anyway guys, I've been Totally Dubbed. This has been the Siberia V2 Heat Orange Limited Edition by SteelSeries. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and Totally Dubbed out. Bye bye.